What is really happening to the 200 meters in Jamaica? How did we go from global dominance to near non-existence in this event? And is there still hope for redemption? Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. And guess what? We're 100 strong and growing. And we're now on the road to 500 subscribers. Thank you for being a part of this journey. Today, this video isn't a lament. It is just a wake-up call. A call to reignite the flame in the hearts of our beloved Sprint Factory. Because we are known, and rightly so, we are known as the undisputed champions of speed, the land where sprint legends are born. Our pride in the 100 meter is unmatched. We own that, redefine that, and we have etched our name on the gold medals. But the 200 meter, once our crown jewel, it has quietly slipped into the dark. And today, we definitely need to talk. Once upon a time, Jamaica ruled the 200 meter. You remember London 2012? Bolt, Blake, and Ware, 1, 2, 3, standing on the Olympic podium, draped in the black, green, and gold. It was history. It was pride. It was dominance. But today, we're struggling to even make a final, much less to stand on the podium. Donald Quarry led us to the Olympic goal, and he was the standard bearer until Usain Bolt came on the scene. After Bolt retired, there is a massive void. Blake, who was once the heir apparent, was hampered by recurring injuries, and Ware just fade away from the sports. And no one had been there to pick up the slack or to take up the baton. We have been searching, waiting, and hoping. And only recently, Bryan Levell emerged with a glimmer of hope. The women's side is no less heartbreaking. We had Merlene Ottey. Then came Veronica Campbell-Brown, the queen of 200 meters. And then Elaine Thompson-Herah came, and she dominated. And for 2 Olympics, she was the double gold medal winner. And we were on a high again. And then came Shericka Jackson. But sadly, Shericka is now standing strong, but all alone. Shericka carries the nation hopes on her shoulder. She is phenomenal, no doubt. But with Elaine battling injuries and Shericka having missed the last Olympics due to injuries, our dominance, the fragility of our dominance is clear. It is telling us that apart from Shericka right now, we have nobody to compete on the women's side. Guys, from the sprint capital of the world, not one Jamaican woman was in the Olympics final last year, all because Shericka was injured. How did we get there? And more importantly, how can we fix it? Guys, what is really going on? This isn't a talent issue, you know. Jamaica is overflowing with gifted sprinters. The problem, I believe, is structural and probably cultural too. The 100-meter has been overly glamorized. It is the showstopper, the dream of every young sprinter. And so most coaches focus on explosive starts, and the athletes crave the quick spotlight. And because the 200-meter depends on speed endurance and mastering the curve and a pain tolerance to endure, few athletes want to embrace this. Many athletes are pushed into the 100 meters too early before their potential in the 200 meters or the 400 meters are properly explored. And we need to shift this. We need to encourage speed endurance training. We need to empower our already excellent coaches with specialized resources so they can build more 200-meter runners. We need to create programs that focus on maintaining top-end speed and building mental toughness for the grueling second half of the 200 meters. This isn't about neglecting the 100-meter. It is about complementing it. A complete sprinter should be able to dominate both the 100 and the 200. And let us not forget injuries and burnout. Too many promising athletes fade away after high school when there's no support to bridge the gap to professional or to bridge the gap for the transition from junior to senior. Right now, on the men's side, the flicker of hope comes from Bryan Levell. He has the guts, the talent, and he's hungry. And then we have Andrew Hudson. He's still adjusting, but I think he has the potential to do well. And then we have Christopher Taylor, who was a 400-meter star. And he has now stepped down to the 2 and the 1. And I'm wondering if he could be that missing link to reigniting our 200-meter hopes along with Bryan Levell and Andrew Hudson. On the women's side, right now, it's all Shericka Jackson. There's nobody else joining Shericka right now. Her power, consistency, and professionalism is what keeps our hopes alive in the 200-meter. But guys, it's a delicate balance. Brianna Liston just turned pro. She's incredibly gifted, but she's also injury prone. And she will need careful guidance. Right now, she's at Lance Broman training camp where she trains with Noah Lyles. And we are hoping that by 2028, she will emerge. I believe he's a good coach because he produced one of the finest 200-meter runners in Shawnee Miller. So let's hope and pray that he takes good care of Brianna and she doesn't get injured too often. And she will be able to emerge to join Shericka. But honestly, there's a troubling gap between high school prodigies and senior level performance in the 200 meters. And unless we address it, our sprint dominance will remain incomplete. Jamaica's strength has always been talent, but talent alone is no longer enough. We need structure, vision, and internal support. So here are some of my suggestions. I don't know if they make sense, but I'm still going to give them. We need to rebuild the pipeline or rebuild the churning, the bell that turned them out. Rebuild the structure that turned out the athletes. We need to encourage schools and clubs to focus more on the 200 and the 400. And they should also look beyond just winning at champs. They should invest in endurance training. They should tailor the programs for 200-meter development. And they need to also prioritize injury prevention, mental health, and the gradual transition from the junior level to the elite level. Because too much athletes vanish after champs, man. Good athletes mash down champs, and after champs, them just vanish. They never transition into the senior level. We need to create a real pathway to senior competition. And let's be clear, injuries don't take away medals only. They also derail dreams. So if they keep getting injured as a junior, it affects them when they become a senior. And sometimes it is lifelong. They never really recover to become the potential or the star that they were meant to be. I take a look at Brianna Williams. She was a prodigy at 17. But since she has transitioned into the senior level, she has not really delivered as she should. I don't know what's the problem, but she has not been performing well. She has not yet delivered. We need to protect our athletes, not just during the glory days, but when they are in the valley too. Bryan Levell continues to shine, and we should support him. And we should also encourage and support Andrew Hudson. He has switched allegiance from the US and he now runs for Jamaica. We need to put in more for him, man, and support him. And we need to support Christopher Taylor because during high school he was a good 200-meter runner. So, and if he has decided to step down from the 4, or he's just trying out to see where his strength lies, we should encourage him also. Kishian Thompson and Oblique Civil are excellent 100-meter runners. Right now, they keep the torch blazing for Jamaica in the 100 meters. I believe they would be great 200-meter runners also. But as we know, they are both delicate and injury prone. And we don't want to overwork them and cause any problem, because Kishin injuries is like they are always there, but the good thing that his club has found a way to mitigate it and to minimize it. It's the same thing with Oblique. Oblique is plagued with injuries, so we have to treat them with kid gloves. So as it stands now, I don't think they will be able to take on the 200 meters. We should more look towards the high school, because there are some fast, strong, and hungry young men who just needs the right coaching and the opportunity to be the next stars. On the women's side, we salute Shericka, but we have to look ahead. We need to look at athletes like Brianna Liston, Brianna Williams, Ashanti Moore, Jodine Williams, Alana Reid, Naisha Berger, and Tina and Tia Clayton. They all have what it takes. And if we invest wisely, train with intention, and plan for long term, we can have world beaters also in the 200 meter to join Shericka. There's hope. Alana Reid has a good 100 meter speed, and she could be shaped into a 200 meter runner to become a force to be reckoned with. Tina Clayton has the strength around the curve, and with the right training, she could dominate the 200 meters. Ashanti Moore, she has the build and she is powerful, and she's hovering on the edge of a breakthrough. Why not train her to be a powerful 200 meter runner? Naisha Berger is showing excellent form, and she seems as if with the right training she could be a great and excellent 200 meter runner also. And then on the side of the men, DeAndre Daly is a young, talented, upcoming star. And he's showing potential, and I think they should start focusing on the 200 meters. Javon Powell, I mean, could do a good job at it also. And even Sachin Dennis. Everybody just wants to do the 100. What about the 200? The truth is, right now on the men's side, we have enough excellent 100 meter runners to keep us going for quite some time. There's Kishin, there's Oblique, there's Akeem, there's Boaje, there's Raheem Ford. And there are many more talented. We have talent for days in the men's 100 meter. But right now is only Bryan Levell keeping our hopes in the 200 meter. Jamaica is too rich in talent for us to be falling behind in the 200 meters. Guys, we have dominated before, and I believe we can rise again. But the 200 meter won't fix itself. We need deliberate coaching, structure, development, and a united force from coaches and the J3s and the fans and friends and family of these excellent runners. This isn't just about medals. It's about national pride, legacy, and showing the world that Jamaica's sprint dominancy goes over the 100, the 200 and the 400. Let's not wait for Shericka to get injured or to retire before we start looking for another 200-meter runner. Or we're going to wait till Bryan Levell burn out. The time is now to fix it. Let's reclaim our crown, man. Not just in the 100-meter, but right across the board. Guys, we are the sprint capital. And it's time to prove it again. Today is the 200-meter finals. And the truth is, there's nothing much exciting to look towards apart from Bryan Levell. Because, as it stands now, he is the only one that has attained the qualifying standard for the 200-meter for Tokyo in September. The only other one who looks close enough to it is Christopher Taylor, because I haven't even seen Andrew Hudson at the trials. So it seems as if he will not be participating in September. Christopher Taylor has not yet attained the qualifying standard. So even if he comes second, he will have to put in extra work and find track meets and all of those things to run to get the qualifying standard, which will put more pressure on him and take away from his focus of participating in September. And apart from Bryan and Christopher Taylor right now, I don't see nobody else who can make the finals. And the female side, them 22 high and 23 there can go nowhere because they cannot make the finals with those runs. So if Shericka is not fit to defend her title, we're going to get left in the 200 meters again. Guys, it's not pretty. And it is not funny either. Me believe that a complete sprinter should dominate both 100 and 200. And as it stands now, a Shericka alone we have on the female side, who is really a dominant sprinter in Jamaica right now. I don't know what plans Frano have for the twins, but I believe honestly that he should let one focus on the 100 and one focus on the 200, man, and they both run the 100 and the 2, but let one specialize in the 2, one specialize in the 1, and then they do both. So at least we would know that we Shericka have backative and Shericka have company. No, man, we need to fix it. We need to do something about it. But anyway, guys, enough of me ranting and raging. Thanks for watching, and let's stay tuned for the next video. Remember, I told you I'm going to do a special and oblique on his hero. Lord Jesus, I can't call it right. On his brave run in the finals. I am working on it. So guys, thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next video.